Chicken here, bring you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the best hero to use for farming up power powder and therefore crystals. But first, big shout out, Operation Hit of the Day is going to go out to Cap 2, guys. So, we got Cap 2 going in on Dioxin. Now, it was poinged up a little bit first here. You see there is some pretty good damage there. There is some pretty good damage there. Some pretty good damage there done on the by Mr. Poing. So big shout out to Mr. Poing and to Cap 2, guys, for taking down Dioxin. But yeah, let's just see. Cap works his way up here. He gets a couple smokes out. He gets the girls in place. He lets a couple of them just fry off to the sides there. Gets the shocks out and just absolutely rips through that one. So big shout out to Cap. Another Dioxin goes down. Another dead end almost goes down in the coop. We're getting back in a bit of a roll here. We'll get there for sure. We could probably just take down this Orbifold right here, right now. But we'll save that for later. I mean, we do have Commodore today, so Chicken is known in certain circles as the Commo King. So we'll probably we'll probably go ahead and save that one up for later. So what we're talking about today, the best hero for farming crystals and power powder. And what that means is just the best hero to use in general. So where we're going to start off with this, we're going to do, we're going to run through all the heroes and just talk about them a bit. So first up, let's talk about Sergeant Brick, how you can use her to get more power powder and crystals and take down more bases in general. So Brick is really going to shine when you're using smoky style troops. Like, I would say Brick is probably probably the best for all Zukas and probably the best for heavy Zukas as well. That you do get into a little bit of a debate between taunt and battle orders there, but overall, Brick, super easy to use. You get a lot of value out of the battle orders. It makes smoky style troops really good. It doesn't have to just be with smoky troops. It doesn't just have to be with all Zuka. You can use it with everything. I just think there's some hero abilities are a little bit better than battle orders is. Like we'll get into that later, but for using all Zuka, there's basically no other nothing is going to stand out as much as using battle orders. So Brick's other abilities, the cluster grenade, not really hugely useful. Like, there's going to be like multiple heroes and multiple abilities that are going to be a better option than using Brick's cluster grenade, and the same goes for Iron Will. Iron Will, it's not bad. I would say it's actually better than cluster grenade, but again, there's better heroes, there's better abilities. But you see right here, guys, there's nothing like against certain bases, and of course in operations and stuff, there's going to be nothing that even compares to the use of battle orders. So there's the first hero, guys, that we'll talk about. Let's move into the next one. I'm wondering how we're going to do this. So each hero's, there's 4 heroes, there's 7 stages. We'll mix it up a little bit. So let's move next down the chain. So we talked about cluster grenade, we talked about Iron Will, we talked about battle orders. Let's move next down the list, guys, and let's discuss Dr. Kevon. So Dr. Kevon and his Ice Shield primarily, fantastic for warriors. So obviously, this is like Kevon and Warriors and Ice Shield is like his primary use, but that's not necessarily what he's best at. I would actually say Kevon pairs best overall with Rifle Cryo Zuka Medic. So we'll get that going here in a second. But using Kevon with Warriors, very easy to use. You're going to be able to take down a wide variety of bases with it. Basically, any sort of warrior base. Like, it's not like using Brick with Warriors, and I know Warriors are like a smoky style strategy, but it's not the same as using Brick with Warriors because it doesn't really depend on the base. If you can take down the base with Warriors, you can throw in an Ice Shield and it's going to be the same thing. Brick gets a little trickier with bases that are really spread out at the back with really good mine placement. It does end up costing a lot of gunboat energy in certain instances. But yeah, let's talk about Kevon using the Ice Shield. And what I think, here's where I think Kevon really shines, is with lower health troops, whatever sort of we said the same thing there twice. Whatever sort of like lower health, higher DPS troops that you like to use in a spread out variety. This goes for like heavy heavy rifle cryozucomatic as well. Things of that nature where you're jumbling a lot of like low health kind of troops. Kevon really makes them powerful. Like, if we're able to actually get him up in these troops, we can show you. So, you see right here, when you're using Kevon with the Ice Shield, it basically cancels out the biggest threat to these style of troop combinations was going to be the Mortar. The Mortar is going to be countered so heavily by the Ice Shield. It's not even like a factor. Like, unless you're facing really interesting kind of layout spreads, the Ice Shield is basically going to like hard counter, completely cancel out a lot of mortar play, which is the biggest detriment to a lot of these kind of spread out heavy Zuka, spread out rifle cryozuka medic style of attacks. Now, Kevon is also going to shine with Second Wind and armored units, heavier units, Gren Med with Second Wind, T-Med with Second Wind, Scorcher Tank with Second Wind. They're all really good. Again, I don't think that's the best way to use those units. Maybe for Gren Med it might be the best, but next up, guys, let's go ahead and load up Everspark, and let's get, oh, we actually gotta collect some stuff here, chicken. Yeah, let's load up the, we don't have them loaded up already, but let's load up the Scorchers and the tanks, guys. So, this is where I think Everspark really, really shines. She works best with heavy armored units. She works best with heavy units in general, aside from, of course, using very strategic universal remote placements in high-level operations and War Factory and things where you get multiple attacks on it. She can take out single defenses with her universal remote. Other than that, she really shines. She really fits in well with armored units because of her best ability is just simply her passive ability and spawning out all these critters. You see right here, I do have the universal remote up, but I don't necessarily need to use it. I'm getting good enough value anyways, just from her being able to spawn all these critters, and I can use my excess GBE to take down things like boom cannons, shock launchers. I can shock this over here, and that's where I'm really going to get the value out of using Everspark. It's not necessarily out of just going up and spamming her ability on that sniper tower that I was about to go down anyways. So Everspark is like a more kind of she depends more on the base, I'd say, than a lot of different combinations. Like, you can find certain layouts where she's really going to shine. Overall, I think you can throw her in with T-Med, you can throw her in with Scorcher Tank, and she's gonna do her best there in terms of player bases and farming up more power powder and crystals and things like that. So that's her universal remote. Explosive charge, kind of similar to cluster grenade. I would actually rank the explosive charge a little bit higher than cluster grenade. It just simply because it does a little bit more damage. If the cluster grenade worked like I think it's supposed to, and the cluster actually took out all the mines, then it would be really fantastic. For some reason, like it looks like it should take out more mines than it actually does. I don't know why. And then the critter swarm is going to be okay. I tend to use the critter swarm more than the universal remote, especially when I'm going again when I'm using armored units and stuff like that, just because it's a cheaper way of getting even more critters on the field. So next up, guys, I think this right here is the best hero in the game right now. I think he has a widespread use from high-level tactics to low-level tactics, and what I mean by that is Bullet is... he's really, really strong. Like, he's really good simply just on his own, but he's one of the best at higher level heavy ice bases. And you've seen the chicken talk about this ad nauseum on the channel, but like, you can get so much value. You can get so much value out of taunt. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. Like, there's some bases, if you can get a good taunt in, and there's like shock launchers and rock launchers are kind of spread out in like a good way for it, you can just use taunt and take the base down. Like, I'll try to do it here. It's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to try to collect the troops up a little bit. Of course, we're going to screw that up a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to show you guys, like, just an example. Obviously, it's only stage 6, but you see right here, not only does taunt distract all the single target defenses, it also freezes other defenses. Like, it freezes these two machine guns. Obviously, I could have just shocked the rock launchers there and taken that down, but I want to show you guys that. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, all the single target stuff is going to focus in on Bullet, not take him down because of his damage limit. all the taunted defenses are going to shoot at Bullet and not your Zukas. So it's like you can get the value of like 40 GBE for 3 sometimes. It doesn't always work like that. It's not as simple as just spamming Bullet and winning. But I think for taunt, and for that reason alone, I feel like he's probably the best hero in the game and the best hero overall to use. If you haven't upgraded any heroes yet, which I'm not sure at this point how you have, unless I guess you're a low level or something, but if Bullet is, you're gonna get the most value out of Bullet, like bar none. Like unless the only reason not to, I guess, is if you really want to push operations, and there is like a lot of bases where Brick is gonna be way better than Bullet ever could be, just simply for the damage output. So we'll go like this. We'll get everyone collected up here, and we should be able to get a pretty good visual on Bullet's taunt ability here. With all the troops kind of closed in together, with so many defenses around, like everything kind of swarming the Zukas, we'll go like this, guys, and we actually won't... I'll throw a health pack down just in case, but we actually won't shock anything. We won't shock anything. We'll just leave Bullet right up in the center. And look at how many defenses. Like, I haven't even used a single shock yet. I just used a medkit there because there was a little bit of spray from that machine gun. And we didn't even need to do anything. Like, and that was 3 GB. That was, well, I think, yeah, it was 3 GB. I think I pushed it again. I don't know if the taunt actually got off. But for 3 GB, we basically shut down the entire base. So it's hard to argue with the value of Bullet, guys. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about, kind of go back to the chicken's roots on the channel, talking about these topics. And things like that. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments what your favorite hero and ability is, what you think the best hero is for farming up power powder and crystals in general. Let me know that down below in the comments, guys. That's going to wrap it up the video today. Make sure to leave a like, finish, stay entertaining, informative, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Check it out.